Buenas tardes, everyone. I hope everybody doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. As always, muchas gracias to everyone for everyone's words, wishes, prayers, and the love and support everyone sends my way. From my heart, muchísimas gracias. Also, do please like, share, and subscribe and hype this video, please. Well, everyone, first and foremost, my apologies if I don't sound myself today. For those that don't know, I've been in emergencies the last couple days since my last live. I don't know when it was, but the same stuff. My heart. I needed blood. My right lung was completely closed. It's all to the same. It's due to the lymphoma that messed me up, and there's no return. Let's just be honest. I like to be sincere with things, and it's a pleasure being here with you guys. But you, as I know, I'm on my way out, and there ain't no stopping it. It's thank you, Lord, it's giving me time, but that's what we're waiting for, which I'm okay with it. Anyways, excuse me for that. Now, to touch on the topic today was going to be a reaction video, right? I wanted to do a reaction on two videos that Boxer Enriquez have put out about cartels in the Mexican Mafia, and because he was dead wrong. And it's to prove to you guys that he speaks through the FBI eyes. And since I'm on this topic, please allow me to clear this up to everyone. Do I like that fool? No. I despise that fool. Straight up. I was there in the shoes, seeing the camaradas get pulled out with a couple months to a house, and this fool laughing it up in courtroom, giving them extra years for lies. I see him give up everything, you know. Even watching his stuff makes me feel like I'm supporting him, right? And it's just personal. With this said, I'm also going to say I'm not ignorant. When it comes to prison stuff, there's nobody that has a better insight than Boxer. And we're not just speaking because he was a carnal. He's still working with the feds, right? But what I want to tell, or what I'm trying to tell everyone is to be smart. Boxer locked it up 2022. From then on, he don't know squat. But what the FBI showed him for him to go on the stand and testify against. I hear him speak about the feds. He's like a fish. I hear him speak, like, for example, on Mexico, he's worse than a fish. That's all I'm trying to get through is, you know, Boxer, I respect it and I agree with you. He's the best thing to the inside of any prison organization. That includes anybody, myself included in everything. See, I'm gonna tell you like this. I could have been in Folsom 2005. There was a politic move, whatever. We end up clipping a fool on the yard, right? When it comes to like The inside story, if it got ready to resolve, like I could bring you the experience of that inside story, right? Because it's already out there. It's already close. Boxer can't. Boxer could tell you the moves they did, the FBI did behind the scenes to give them people more time. You see what I'm trying to say? But anyways, that's not what it's about. Let's get to what the video's about, which is he named them cartels where burst the Mexican Mafia. First off, that's the first wrong thing. I woke up every day. I breathe, ate, everything for the campo causa. Never sidestep, regardless of what the people say, you know. I went in and out clean, did my time to the fullest, and not just in the state, federal time, stayed in Mexico, federal time in Mexico, and my thing is personal. For those that don't know, right? But anyways, there's no competition though. I love the causa. I love the camaradas, but there's no competition. Not one bit. The ones that run everything are the cartel. No butts or ribs, and if they, let's say a canal gets a little local in anywhere in the states, they'll go down in the states, get him, get his crew and his whole family. It's just fact, you know, dispensing and say it like this. But I just believe that's a wrong name to have started with, right? Now, he talks about the first contact was with the Arajos. It was one of the first ones, but it just goes to show how far back he don't know and where it stops, and he knows, right? For example, I don't think he knew Lechuga really good because I said it before in a video. Lechuga was related to a lobo de Tamaulipas, and I'll leave it at that. You know, just Lechuga was the individuals he didn't trust the MN, and well, I shouldn't say it like that. He didn't trust the MN, if you want to believe me or not. He wasn't willing to put his bloodline in the middle to help him get access to everything, you know. But that's one. Now on Diablo, I'm just gonna say this. On Diablo, Thumper, and Sleeper, I want to do a full video. I'm going to do a full video, right? As I've been promising. But just shortly, a lot of people minimize Chino, peanut butter. Let me just say, peanut butter had a lot of juice on here, a lot of jugo. He was in Tijuana doing things for Sonora. Just, just please put your head on that. He was working for Sinaloa, Sonora, out of Tijuana, and he didn't get touched once. You know, that's why when he died, of course, all his crew that stayed behind, Sleeper, Thumper, Diablo, uh, that fool Pato, that fool Ty, all them fools. They got clipped because Sonora didn't trick them fools like they did peanut butter. That's all it came down to, you know? But anyways, I want to get jumped into, I want to do a full video, but this is going to be with my personal experience and like my channel should be. I shouldn't even be doing this. It's a waste of time. At the end of the day, it's like trying to stab a rock, right? You're never going to hurt it. Boxers like that, but it don't matter. I ain't out to hurt. I ain't out to cause poison either way. Just the facts are the facts. I'm on here to tell my story, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I do want to touch a little bit about evil because he says a lot about evil, you know. But before then, before I forget, boxers dead wrong on even Popeye and Bat. Popeye is your error, homeboy. How can you be wrong about that? I don't understand it. How I came 2019 almost and knew everything right away, and supposedly you were down in Tijuana doing things with him. So you're telling me from his spot, you in here at the airport across the street. You telling me that when you went down to Mexico, nobody, because with me, it took a few hours. And we're talking about other carnales to tell me that all that Popeye was in Mexico was a tweaker, a rapist tweaker. That, yeah, carnales love. Popeye, I got nothing bad to say about him. But let me tell you something. You're dead wrong. Hopefully they didn't start with them in a Preto Crispin in a discotheque. Preto did the first, I mean, Hopefully did the first unthinkable thing with the cat bat in Mexico that you never heard of even then. That's how he started picking up trust. And that was the 49 people in Michoacan that some cat tried to hide from the Arianos. The They got sent out there, you know, they took everybody, the whole family, laid it down, face down, and went with an AK-1 time to the dome. Or let me tell you, this included babies, infants, everything, abuelitas, whatever the family was still around. After that is when the discotheque thing happened, and El Chapo tried to move on the Arellanos, and Popeye, well, yeah, he held his ground. He did what he was supposed to as a soldier, which is fall in line, right? Pick up a piece and vámonos. It's time to boogie. And he got him out of there through the bathroom. And even then, they didn't trust him. You see, Popeye never really worked for the Arellano. He worked for Orozco. Bat wasn't nowhere near even Orozco. They didn't trust Bat because to the Arellanos, that's all he was, a tweaker that liked to have fun with them girls that old feria, and they went and picked up to collect. And it's too much times of that, oh, I let her go and I collected my way. ¿Cuánto era? Ahí te va. They didn't want that. They wanted the cartels want a point to be proven. You owe me, you didn't pay me. Cut it in three pieces and prove a point. That's Mexico. But like I said, about the Cardinal was the Cardinal was a good hit. For those that don't know, the Cardinal was a good hit. Popeye and his crew were supposed to do that with the Cardinal. And then they were supposed to pass over to El Chapo that happened to have a Grand Marquis too. But they were two separate things that the Rayanos wanted to take care of. The Cardinal was doing a lot of things behind the scenes. And we'll just leave it at that, right? I don't want to really speak against that man, but now I'm gonna touch on evil, right? I'm gonna put his whole story really there because he spoke about evil and him clipping carnales and and the riots in prison. Yeah, I wasn't one in Durango when evil was there, and he called me, and I told you guys about it in the story. It was against the Aztecas, and evil had that institution running like if it was the states. Sureños were running it over anybody for Sinaloa, but it was a Sureño program. That it's 100% true, right? Now about him, I don't know if he mentioned names. I didn't go back and once I seen he moved it, cut it, and I just didn't finish watching it. But Evil did clip two canales from AM out here. He chopped her off for Sinaloa, for the Arsates brothers. And it was because them two vatos, even though they were main members, they were doing what they were used to doing. Which you go to the bodega, how blota, okay. One for the load, one, two for me. One, two for the load, and you guys get it. They got caught. Evil took care of it. First and foremost, they put Evil on the spot. They went against. That's why the feds were with Evil when it happened. They okayed it. But again, I'll touch better on that, for a different story. I just don't want to put too much under this fool's name. I want to get this done and over with. And now at the end, he's right on something. And I told you guys I didn't really touch on it. Evil got taken out because he stuck up for Camarada. That I could never take from him. He held his ground even against the cartel for a homie, a camarada, a normal camarada, you know. And the only thing he got wrong was he said he went against the brothers, the Arzates from the Mayos, right? Which in a sense is true. The Vato took from them, right? No, he didn't take from them. He asked for something and then he couldn't pay it. And then It picked him up, threw him once, picked him up, threw him out again, and it just got to the point where they wanted Evil to take care of it. And like I said, I give this to Evil because he did it for a camarada. Evil said, Charlie, he held his ground. By then, he was already working with los Rusos. You see, the Rusos were trying to take what they did take later on, right? Which was Rosarito, Tecate, Ensenada, all that. But at the moment, it was the wrong time. He jumped ships way too early. They were both still under El Mayo. So when this got discovered is why before they picked up Evil, he was already expanding the word, right? Which I will put in the story, which was what was coming. And it was because he felt more comfortable with the Russo, so he decided to jump ships from the Arzate brothers in Tijuana to los Russo out in Rosarito. But they were under the same boss. That's how he got picked up, his crew, and that's how, well, you guys know the ending, right? But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with all respect. Evil was a good camarada. You know, let's bring out from the Christian membership. He, Evil was a good camarada. He did a lot of things he had to do in Mexico. Believe me, we all did. But if you've never been down here, you wouldn't know, right? What it takes to open them doors. But anyways, he held his ground for a camarada. And for the one guy throwing shots at me and everything, you know what? I thought better of it. I should have never even answered you, homeboy. First and foremost, you're not a camarada. You don't sound like a camarada. Second of all, you don't even know the definition of a camarada. Because that's how you put it out. Oh, I'm a camarada because I've been in them shoes. I've been around the big homies. And you could be a Southsider and done that. The definition of a camarada and what difference from a camarada and a campolero is that you're actually rubbing elbows, doing things alongside a feeling. You're pulling missions. You're making moves with them. You're moving along side by side like camaradas. That's why the word. But again, it's not for me to put it on you. But if you're gonna throw at me, it's alright. You can consider me a peseta. Show me the papiros. All my time's been clear, homeboy. Till date, I'm not gonna say it's an agreement or what happened. I could have made it personal. I could have caused some damage, homeboy. I didn't. The agreement was it's personal with me, and at the moment with D, I was gonna get taken care of however, and I was gonna interfere with their business, which I don't. They come to the ranch, they see me and everything. So like I told you, give me your name and CDC number to tell them that you have a problem with it. I want to put a stop to it. Let my family know, hey, this happened, and just because you said so. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. I'm just gonna let you know something. Homie, I lasted as long as I did, because at least amongst camaradas, I always been my own man. They can't get under my head. When it came to Pilis, I did what I had to do, even if I knew it was wrong. So you can continue to shoot all you want. You see, you're shooting at the wrong person because I'm not on you for that. But I forgot, you say, you question me even being around Pilis. One of my first celly was a Pili, as seven others. I went to Pelican Bay and look it up, 2004. Three right, Pelican Bay, Robert Alvarez, K36147 for a 187 on a member. But anyways, enough of that. Everyone, again, this whole thing was to show you that I understand the fascination. I don't know if I should say it like that with boxer, and I respect it, right? There's nobody bigger, and nobody on here that's gonna show you the ins. Well, right now, at least from the FBI recordings, things like that. Anything he speaks from 2002 down, he was there. 100% he was there. The only thing I'm trying to tell you is be smart. For example, hey, two months earlier, there was this whatever on the street, and he's gonna try to tell you what a carnal thought and everything, why he made that call and everything. No, he's gonna tell you what the FBI has. That's all. What they said, do please excuse me that me having to go to emergency gave him enough time to eliminate for me to react the way I wanted to. Man, and I'm gonna start listening to you guys. You guys told me they're on your live listening, and I only told the guys on the live I was gonna do this because of this, and done. Look, 3 days later, he erased one, he added the other one, and I ain't nobody, never been nobody. But I don't know why they even come around, right? I should have listened to S1 when he told me they're not like you, fool. You come on YouTube, you do your thing when you just with you, the friends that we have, the bond that we started on here. Do your thing and log off. These fools are just on. And again, I'm gonna start listening. With this said, please stay true to yourself, loyal to your loved one. God bless everyone.